Hello, everybody. My name is Alexander Philippides. I'm the program associate here at the Westport Museum for History and Culture, filling in for Nicole Carpenter, our assistant director today. Before we start today, I'd like to quickly acknowledge that where the museum is located is on the ancestral lands of the Pagusset people, and no story of Westport's history is complete without first acknowledging them. Additionally, I would like to say that our museum is a nonprofit that doesn't receive funding from the town, state, or federal government. So anything that you can donate is well appreciated. It helps fund our programs and award-winning exhibitions. Today we'll be talking about the Westport Owls. We actually recently published a blog post about the Westport Owls in conjunction with the recent Super Bowl game. So we have a few items from our collection here today. Back in January of 2022, the museum received a large amount of photographs of the Westport Owls. We didn't know too much about the team at the time, so we asked one of our collection volunteers at the time if they knew anything about them. Now, they did know. The uniform looks something like this. This black this is what a traditional football uniform would look like, kind of like a sweater almost, with this black outer part and this owls in this orange band across the front. It was a little difficult after we got these photographs to do more research about the Owls, because at the same time the Owls were active in semi-professional football, Westport also had two other teams known as the Westport Owls, a bowling team and a baseball team. But right here, you can see a photograph of the Westport Owls team photo in 1924. You can see the full team is across here. It's a normal team photo, and we have two individual players right here. This is Pete Hansen, one player for the Westport Owls. And right over here, we have Steve Mills. So the team was a semi-professional team. This was before Staples High School had a football team. Home games were played throughout several different fields, including Kyaski Lot on Post and Green Farms Road, and an open lot on Hillendale Road. As semi-pros, they were paid per game. This is something that hasn't changed. Most professional sports or semi-professional sports are still paid per game, and they frequently advertise having free weekends that ask specific teams to play. Other teams in the same league as the Westport Owls include the Norwalk West Ends and Springwoods, Bridgeport Mohawks and Columbian Blowdogs, Blackhawks Juniors, Stanford Bearcats, and the Stratfields. One of the first mentions we have of the Westport Owls is in 1924 when they defeated the Bridgeport Lakeviews 19-0. The team members of that team include Willard Williams, who actually donated a lot of our Owls memorabilia that we have in the collection. This was his jersey. Allen as a left guard, Dooling as a center, Kokoski as a right guard, Baker as right tackle, Silk as right end, Jack Maddock as quarterback, Steve Mills shown in one of those photos as left halfback, Bill Farley right halfback, and Frank Strum as a fullback. Newspapers reported the final game was marred by impromptu fighting in which players and spectators were involved. The ends position, early in football, wide receivers were called ends. The 1924 team later ended their season with 1 loss, 1 tie, 7 wins, to pose for a picture labeled state champions. So I'm going to show you guys some of these photos right here and tell you another story about the Westport Owls. In 1927, a player named Michael Cusio, an end wide receiver, as we would say today, the Westport Owls, was arrested on the field after starting a gang fight weekends before at a dance in Easton. 4 other Westporters were arrested alongside Cusio. All 5 were released on $50 bail, and miraculously enough, Cusio himself was able to play for the Westport Owls that evening against the Bridgeport Blackrock Pirates. The last entry that we currently know about the team when they were actively playing details a scandal that's unsolved to this day. On November 29th of 1931, leading the Wanderer Juniors of Saugatuck by a score of 20-0, when a Westport fullback fumbled the ball, in growing darkness, the referee could not find the ball. The manager of the Owls, John Ryan, reported the disappearance to police, but since they only had 1 ball, the game ended at that point. Now, the Westport Owls did, of course, win, leading 20-0 at that point. At this point, I would like to go over some of the known players in the roster. If anybody watching today is aware of any of these players, please feel free to reach out to the museum to let us know more about these players so we can tell a more fulfilled story about the Westport Owls. We have Russ Smith, who received an annual award from the Sportsman of Westport at the Dinner Champions in October 1972. John E. Ryan, the team manager. James Masiello also received an award at the Dinner Champions. And he was one of the last remaining members of the team in 1980. Michael H. Marshak was an original member of the Owls in the 1920s. Joseph Nazaro was a recipient at the same Dinner of Champions. And mentioned a reunion in 1957, Jack Maddox, Mike Marshak, John Dooling, Art Miller, and Willard Williams. Charlie Quigley played in the 1919 after his return from World War I. The backfield running backs position, we have a list of a few of the backfield and running backs, which include some who are already been mentioned, including Steve Mills, but also Harry Quinn, Gil Farley, Leo Carroll, Frank Strum, and Jack Maddox. We're still doing research into the team, so if you have any memories of the Owls, or if you remember any of the players, let us know. We're eager to learn more about this interesting group of young men. In addition, our current exhibition, Playful Pastimes, is connected to the Owls. You can actually see this jersey on display. It talks about other ways in which Westporters spent their free time to turn to the 20th century and the late 19th century. Additionally, as I mentioned earlier, we do have a blog post that discusses in part the Westport Owls in addition to the modern NFL game. That's all I have for today, and I would like to thank everybody for watching. Additionally, as I mentioned, our exhibit's out currently on Playful Pastimes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.